Beacon lockers. Jaune, my locker should be around here. Stay close, Lilith, and don't wander off. Lilith gave him a mock salute. Jaune just chuckles. As they came across the corner, they see the rude girl from yesterday talking to a red-headed girl. Jaune, excuse me, can you please move? I need to get to my locker. Weiss looks at them indignantly. Weiss, excuse me? Do you even know who you're talking to? Jaune gets annoyed he's dealing with a spoiled rich kid. Jaune, all I'm asking is for you to move. I said excuse me and please. If you were raised in a barn and don't have manners, that means move aside. Weiss, looking scandalized, huffed and left with the girl, who looked at the pair. Jaune, sigh, if I ever get on the same team with her I will lose brain cells. Lilith, Papa, why was that girl so mean? Jaune, honey, that is not how you should behave. Lilith, okay Papa. Beacon Hills facing Emerald Forest. Jaune walks toward the platform and hands over custody of Lilith to Glinda, and she gladly accepts. Skip Ashbin's speech. Ashbin, well, I hope you all have a landing strategy prepared. One by one the students were launched towards Emerald Forest. Jaune's launch was delayed and he looks at Ashbin. Ashbin, Mr. Ark, I received your grandfather's recommendation letter. Don't worry, I know of your lineage and I wish to employ you at a later time. Jaune, as you wish. But look after my daughter, if anything happens to her I will burn this place down. Ashbin, I know that's a promise, so I'll watch over her diligently. Jaune was then launched. Glinda, is he the Mandalorian you spoke of during your previous lives? Ashbin, yes, I have worked with many of his offspring. They only appear when Remnant is facing a grave threat. Back in the sky. Jaune is soaring, then suddenly, he caught a spear flying into him. Jaune then ignites his jetpack and watched the unknown assailant. Jaune then landed in the forest and made his way through the temple and encountered his would-be assassin. Jaune, are you here to finish the job and remove a potential rival? Pyrrha, oh no. I thought you didn't have a landing strategy. I tried to stop your fall. Jaune looks at her and senses no deception. Jaune, impaling them to a tree might be misinterpreted, you know. Pyrrha, I'm sorry. Jaune, so partners? Pyrrha, oh yes. Jaune, my name is Jaune Ark, simple and easy to remember. Pyrrha, my name is Pyrrha Nikos. Hoping he doesn't put her on a pedestal. Jaune, neat, let's go. Pyrrha, you really don't know who I am? Jaune, no, I lived on the road, so I had no information on current events in civilization, so forgive me for my ignorance. Pyrrha, no. I was just afraid you would. Jaune, put you on a pedestal? You're not the only one. Pyrrha, Jaune, never mind, let's get to the temple and find those relics. Pyrrha, okay. They reached a cave and Jaune made a torch and entered with Pyrrha. Pyrrha, I don't think this is the place, Jaune. Jaune, Pyrrha, I just made a torch, please humor me for at least 5 feet. They got close to a cave wall and saw a painting. Jaune, how this place appears to be a prison. Pyrrha, how do you know? Jaune, I'm a study of history. Judging by this cave paintings, an ancient tribe of people drove a death stalker into this cave. I suggest we look somewhere else. They exited the cave only for 2 other initiates to enter. Temple. Blake and Young were already there and got their pieces. Jaune and Pyrrha just arrived. Young. Oh hey there, picked up a lady on the way, huh lover boy. Jaune. Please save the jokes when we're safe. We're still in grim territory. Young just huffed party pooper. Jaune and Pyrrha took their pieces. Then they heard a scream, then looked up. RWBY was falling. Jaune, she's falling. Young, RWBY. Jaune used his jetpack to catch her. Everyone was shocked to see a real-life jetpack being used. RWBY opened her eyes and she blushed. Jaune carrying her princess style and then landed. RWBY, wow Jaune, you didn't tell me you got a jetpack before. Jaune, you never asked. RWBY, ha ha. Then they heard another scream. They see Weiss falling. Jaune did the same procedure only to be further irritated. Weiss, put me down you ruffian. Jaune then drops her. Weiss, what was that for? Jaune, you asked for it, now shut up. Then they heard another set of noise. It was girl and a boy riding a Ursa running away from a death stalker. Nora, coming through. The Ursa crashed and died. Nora, aw, it's broken. Blake, did they seriously rode an Ursa? Weiss, look out, that Nevermore is coming back. Jaune, you 2 girls grab your relics now. Run. Wait a minute, I'm not a girl. RWBY, I got this. RWBY speed toward the Grim but was stopped. Her cape got pinned by Nevermore feathers. Suddenly the Nevermore sent another barrage. Young, RWBY. Then Ice appeared and blocks the feathers. Weiss, you dolt. Stop acting like a child. RWBY, I just wanted to show you that I can do. Jaune, not the time, we need to find a better place to fight these 2. Fall back. They ran towards the ruins. Jaune, alright, those with long range focus on taking that Nevermore down. The rest will take on that Death Stalker. Weiss, who put you in charge? Jaune, do you have a better idea? Weiss couldn't even argue. RWBY took charge of Weiss, Blake and Young and handled the Nevermore. Jaune, does anybody have explosives? Nora smiled and converted her hammer into a grenade launcher. Jaune, distract it by bombarding it. You. Run. The name is Ren. Jaune, shoot its eyes out. Ren complied. Jaune, Pyrrha, shoot its legs to keep it balanced. The team took to their tasks. Jaune took to the skies and fired on its back using dual DL-44s until he found a crack and used his missile launcher on his jetpack and killed it. When they turned around they saw RWBY decapitate the Nevermore. Later, Ashbin and Carden Winchester is now leader of Team CRDL. Applause. Ashbin, and the leader of Team JNPR John Ark. Applause. Nora hugged John with him glancing at Glinda just playing with Lilith and smiles. Ashbin, and the leader of Team RWBY Ruby Rose. Applause. Young put her in a headlock. Young. That's my sister. Weiss looked irritated. John knew that look, he's just gonna deal with another migraine. Ashbin calls him over. John leaves the group and meets with Ashbin. Ashbin, greetings Mandalore. John, I have yet to be given that title Ozma. Ashbin just smiles. Ashbin, good to see you still hold your ancestors' standards. But I wish to hire you to protect someone. John, and that person is? Ashbin, Ruby Rose.